Hi everyone. Got here a bit of a special unboxing for you that I thought would make some decent ASMR content as well. I got here straight from Germany. I got a new Neo-Geo AES game, and I'm just gonna be opening this up and let's see what we got here. I haven't opened this up, so hopefully everything is alright inside here. So, here we go. If you know what you're looking for, you already can see what the game is inside here, but I'm just going to be removing the bubble wrap here next. So looks like a pretty hefty amount of bubble wrap, but that's good for a game of this magnitude. This isn't by far my most expensive Neo-Geo game or anything, but it's still it's still up there, as with many Neo-Geo games are. Here we go. Pretty gorgeous copy of The King of Fighters 2001. And this is the US or English version of the game, which, you know, on the Neo Geo means only that the manual and the cover insert are in English. The games themselves inside are the exact same in English and Japanese. The language that the game runs in is decided by your hardware. So yeah, many Neo Geo games are hugely more expensive in English versions than on Japanese versions, and that's solely because of just a piece of paper on the cover and pieces of paper that make up the manual. And here the US copy, it's over twice the amount of the Japanese copy. Yeah, looks to be in really great shape. Let's see inside. I was thinking about whether or not I should fashion one of these myself. With games of this price tag, you gotta do all the precautions to preserve them. So one of them is that you don't want the embossed SNK logo to scratch the underneath of the game cartridge. So that's why all of us collectors put a sheet of bubble wrap here, just to keep it safe. Here we have the cartridge itself. Some very minimal insertion marks here. That's okay. I'm not that anal about collecting. I just like, which might surprise many of you, but to me the most important thing is that the game has to be complete. Everything has to be there. But it's fine by me that the condition is it doesn't have to be mint. Of course, it means that I pay a little less, and this was an okay bargain for this quality. Looks like the cartridge sticker isn't quite centered. It overlaps here a bit, and it's quite up here on the bottom. That's again just fine. Then we have the manual in its original baggie. This little plastic bag is really important for us Neo-Geo collectors. But yeah, I just love the Neo-Geo. They made, the console and the hardware, arcade hardware came out like in '89, and the console version came out in 1990. And they made these games, 2D games, really expensive 2D games for a really small niche audience up until 2003. So, the machine started like before the Super Nintendo, and they officially supported well into PlayStation 2 era. So that's just amazing. And a game like this, King of Fighters 2001, has been ported over to the Xbox and PlayStation 2. So yeah, these were really gorgeous games, and just a testament of how just good the Neo-Geo AES hardware was. So you really could get well over a decade, like 13 years out of it. But one reason why I wanted to have this as well, first of all, this is there came out 10 King of Fighters games on the Neo-Geo AES, and I now have 9 of those. So King of Fighters from '94 all up till to 2002. I'm still missing 2003. Sadly, I didn't get that, 10 years ago when it was still reasonable, the prices. But yeah, nowadays it's really expensive. I gotta see if I'm ever gonna get 2003. Maybe I will. But I like the Japanese version of 2003 is like €1,000, and the US version is like €2,000. So I might have to skip getting the US version from that. Of course, most of my King of Fighters games are in Japanese versions, but I have 94, 2001, and 2002 I have as the US copies. And one of the reasons I wanted to have these as US copies is that I think like maybe it was like 2003, 2004 maybe, the official distributor of Neo-Geo games in the US, the Neo-Geo.com's Neo store, received this bunch of official inserts that they had made in the vein of, they call these classic inserts. And these have these, well, classic gray borders around them, all of these, which was the style that they made these in, back in the day, in the 90s. And they made 6 of these, SNK made, and then sent them over to the Neo store. Made 6 of these classic inserts for Metal Slug 4 and 5, King of Fighters 2001, 2002 and 2003, and Rage of the Dragons. So those 6 games received this special treatment, and Metal Slug 5 and 4 also received these cartridge stickers that you could stick on. Now, I don't know anybody who has actually stuck these on under their cartridges, but these are just really nice collector's items. I have Metal Slug 4 and as a US version, so that's covered, and I have King of Fighters 2002 as a US copy, so I have that there as well. Well, let me just show you guys here. So here we have the Metal Slug 5. So looking forward to getting this one day. And then we have the Rage of the Dragons, which I fear I missed the train on this one as well, especially for the US version. This is like €3,000, so I might have to just keep hold of my little insert here. And then we have the King of Fighters 2003 insert. Now I think I'm actually going to Japan later this year for my honeymoon. So I think I might just get the Japanese version of King of Fighters 2003 and then put this on top. So it looks like it's the US version. Of course, I'm still missing the US manual and cartridge sticker, so it wouldn't be complete. But I just love to have this on the on my shelf, looking uniform with the spines, with the other newer King of Fighters. But we'll see. Let's put these away. And then let's put in this King of Fighters 2001 insert. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put this on top of the original one, just so that everything is stays in the same spot. Let's see how I can do this without damaging too much of either insert. So that everything is aligned perfectly. I would say that having the classic insert here, it raises the value of the game anywhere from like 50 euros to 100 euros, depending on the collector. Might be closer to 100 euros. There weren't that many of these classic inserts produced, so maybe just an estimate. No, it's not quite centered. Maybe an estimated of maybe 100 copies per game. They made these classic inserts, so it's actually quite a rare treatment of having these here. Perfect. Let's put everything back. I guess wait. I can fix that. It's kind of showing. Well, I'll do it later. I kind of wasn't in the market for getting King of Fighters 2001 right now, but I was still looking for it for many years. Partly because I've had these classic inserts for many years. So happy to finally got 3 out of 6 of these games that have the classic inserts. So now I have 2001 and 2002 and Metal Slug 4. Still missing Metal Slug 5, King of Fighters 2003 and Rage of the Dragons. I'll have to see which one of those I'll just have to get as a Japanese copy and be done with it instead of dishing out an extra 1,000 or 2,000 euros. But yeah, I just love Neo-Geo collecting, and gorgeous game, really good condition, and I just had to get this when I finally saw this. It was on sale in Germany, and so the postage costs to Finland were very reasonable, and I could also, thanks to being in the EU, both of us, I could pay very simply with a bank transfer without any fees. So it was really nice. It's really a shame that deals like this will simply cease to exist with the UK, now that they're leaving the EU very foolishly. But yeah, well, they'll see how it affects their trade. But yeah, like for retro games, for me, it's UK won't be feasible anymore. So that's a shame for us retro collectors. But yeah, there's still lots of other countries to buy games from, like this from Germany. Thanks for watching. Sorry about going on a tangent there. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, follow FinGamer on Twitter and Instagram. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and my gaming channel if you like the gaming content. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.